Hello, welcome to Raymond Castile's Basement of Horror. Today we continue our look at the new or recent Mego monsters. We're burning up a lot of episodes looking at these Mego monsters. In the past, I would do them all in one episode, like one long 90-minute, 2-hour episode. And this time I decided to split them up and do one character or one set of characters per episode. So that's what we're doing. We got a cat here. Maybe Billy will finally jump up on the table this time. I don't know. We'll see. Billy. There's Billy. Okay, well, you saw him for 1 second. You saw him for one split second. At least you saw him. Oh, well. Maybe he'll come back up. So, I don't know. We're doing a lot of episodes on these Mego monsters. I'm thinking this is really taking over the channel. So I don't know if I'm going to do it this way next time. I might go back to my old long single episode where we do them all in one episode. But anyway, let's see here. Let's take him out. I've got a stack of shipping boxes over here with Megos in them. So here is the new Hannibal Lecter with in the straitjacket. There's Dr. Lecter. Now what you're not seeing is Billy shaking this camera because I'm cutting to this camera while he's shaking this camera. So you won't see any of that. We'll just focus on this camera. And you can see he's got his prison uniform with the straitjacket over it. And that straitjacket, it is functional. It does go around his back and fasten, I think, with a Velcro. He's got some nice little sneakers there. Little prison sneakers. Here's the back. Okay. So here's the first Hannibal that Mego put out. So last year they put out this Hannibal in this prison uniform. I mean, they're both prison uniforms, but this is like a standard kind of a prison uniform, like what he'd wear in his cell. Oh, he's got black shoes there. Very similar card back. In fact, are they the same card back? Yeah, they are the same. I don't see any difference. Yeah, they are the same card back. Exactly the same. But the front the card is not the same. And it's interesting because with this one, the original one, a lot of people question whether that was even Anthony Hopkins on the front, and I don't know if it is. It's kind of odd how this shirt looks kind of disconnected from this face, like it's not part of the same image. And that doesn't necessarily look like Hopkins. I mean, judge for yourself. There we go. Is that the same guy? It doesn't look like it. In fact, I mean, I always thought this kind of looked like Al Pacino, really. I don't know who that is. Could just be a stock image. I mean, who knows? Who knows if maybe this picture was from some other source and they matched it with that image. I don't know. But this on the back, that's Anthony Hopkins. That's from one of the movie posters. They had different, like you have style A, style B, one sheets for a movie. This is, I think, style B. Style A had Clarice in the same kind of situation with a moth on her mouth. So it's interesting that they didn't even use it. I mean, it doesn't look like they used Anthony Hopkins for this card, but they certainly did with this one. That is a still from the movie. That is Anthony Hopkins in The Silence of the Lambs, for sure. Now, a lot's been said about the head sculpt. I don't know very many people who think the head sculpt looks like Anthony Hopkins. It's the same sculpt used again. People have compared it to the dad on that 70s show. I hear that a lot. I think it looks like the 70s Mego Mr. Mxyzptlk figure. The more common version. I think it looks like the Mxyzptlk head. I mean, I'm not saying that's what they used. No, but I'm just saying it reminds me of that. I'm trying to see if there's any difference in the paint. I thought maybe they painted the eyebrows a little different, but I don't think they did. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. The eyes look the same, eyebrows look the same. Hair looks the same. Nah, it's the same head. Exact same head. Yeah, so I would agree that the head doesn't really look like Anthony Hopkins. I don't think it does. They had a prototype head, and I don't know if it was a physical model or if it was a computer rendering or what, but I saw a picture. I think it was a physical model. I think it was, real, it was physical. They showed a picture of a Anthony Hopkins sculpt that I liked. And I've been told that it's the same sculpt that's on the final toy. So I don't know where it got lost in translation, because I remember liking that picture of the prototype, the unpainted prototype. I remember thinking, well, that looks pretty good. And then when I saw the toy, this first toy, and now this second version, I thought, well, yeah, it doesn't look like Anthony Hopkins. So I don't know if it's the paint, maybe seeing it unpainted, it looks better. I don't know if it's the materials used. Like always there's something lost in translation between the sculpt and then the process of making a mold and popping the material out of the mold. It always shrinks or expands or does funny things. The shape changes a bit. And it's part of the charm of a soft-headed action figure. I like that there's a bit of randomness to it. You never know exactly how it's going to turn out. That you see the original sculpts, and they're always very chiseled and much more serious looking. And then you see the finished action figure, and it's always much softer. And the likeness seems like it's a step removed from the original sculpt, because it's a generation or two removed. And it's got the materials, the PVC they use, the soft material to make it a squishy head. It always affects the shape, and the details become softer, and maybe it expands, maybe it contracts. So that's part of the charm of this format. I like that, but in this case, the end result is a figure that doesn't quite hit the mark. And I think, at least the head, and I think part of it is to do with Anthony Hopkins himself. It's all his fault. It's all Anthony Hopkins. No, I'm not. I mean that part of it is to do with just his face is one of those faces that's hard to capture. Kind of like Bela Lugosi's face. It's hard to get it right. It's hard. It's such a subtle thing. The elements that make Hopkins look like Hopkins are so subtle, they're hard to capture. And if you don't get it exactly right, if you don't hit the nail square on the head, then it looks completely off. And that's a lot of different actors are like that. Most notoriously, Bela Lugosi is famously difficult to capture in a likeness. But Mego did a pretty good likeness of Bela, one of the best, really. So they met that challenge, but I think Hopkins is one of those likenesses that's just really, really hard to capture whatever it is that makes him look like him. And if you don't get it exactly right, it just doesn't look right at all. Whereas maybe, I don't know, Clint Eastwood or some other characters, if you get in the ballpark, they'll look okay. Like, I don't know, Humphrey Bogart or whatever. I'm sure I've seen some dolls of him, and I think if you have a sculpt that looks like 70-80% of the way there, it'll be okay. But Bela Lugosi, you've got to get it just right, or it doesn't look like Bela Lugosi. And I think Hopkins is like that. If you don't get it just right, it doesn't look like Hopkins. Now, why did they even make this figure in the first place? Well, I mean, because they already have this. Why did we need two Hannibal Lecters? I think part of it is the mask. And I and other collectors noted that he never wore that mask in the movie when he was dressed in that prison uniform. He never wore this mask with this costume. He wore it with this costume. He wore that mask with the straitjacket. The only scene in the movie where he had that mask was the one where he was in this. It was the scene in Memphis when he's dressed in this straitjacket. Now, I think there's another scene where he's in a straitjacket. I don't know if it's the same one. And he's got like a wire mask. It's not the iconic mask, though. There's only one scene where he's got that iconic mask and he's in a straitjacket. So I was kind of critical that they made the wrong costume. They gave him the mask, but it was with the wrong costume. And I think other people online that I read, other people made that comment, like, why does he have that mask in the wrong costume? So, to their credit, they've reissued him with a new costume, the correct costume, and this mask. And I think between the two of them, I think the straightjacket version is the better of the two. This mask has got some funky plastic fasteners or something. I wonder how this actually fits on his head. I thought it was just like a strap, but it looks like it's more complicated than that. But I think that between the two, well, there's no contest. This new one, is the better of the two figures. It's just, I like the costume more. It goes with the mask. It all goes together. It's got Hopkins' real face on the card. It's a real scene from the movie. I mean, it's a better package all around. I was hoping they'd tweak the head sculpt, but they didn't do that. Or maybe tweak the paint, perhaps. Maybe with a different paint job it would look better. I don't know. Now, there's a reason, I think. Well, you notice that he's got these white shoes, which I think are, I don't know what's accurate, but it strikes me that the white shoes would be more accurate than these black ones. But I don't know. I don't know what kind of shoes he was wearing in these scenes. But there's a reason why he's in this outfit, in this first version in this outfit. And I think those shoes are part of that. Now, everything I've read online, the discussion regarding this figure, including things I've read on Mego groups where official Mego messages are posted, everything I've heard is that this was a replacement. This first one was a replacement figure for a Michael Myers that was supposed to have been in one of the waves from 2020. I'm not even thinking about wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not even numbering them anymore. I think the whole wave thing is just washed away. So I don't really. I'm just thinking of whatever the latest release is. I'm not saying wave 10, 11, 12. I'm not even using that system anymore. But one of the waves last year, I think it was wave 8. I'm not sure. One of the waves last year was supposed to have a Michael Myers, and at the last minute it got canceled. There was some licensing issue, and they couldn't put out the Michael Myers figure. And then they announced Hannibal Lecter, and everything I've read about this, and this isn't coming from some official Mego press release or whatever. This is just all the collector discussion, and I've never heard any official voice contradicting this. Everything I read says that this suit, this costume, was supposed to be Michael Myers, his costume, like his mechanic's outfit. And when they couldn't put out Michael Myers, they had the Hannibal in development, so they moved that to the front of the line and put Hannibal's head on what would have been a Michael Myers figure. And I don't know if Michael Myers would have had that t-shirt underneath, probably not. But this was supposed to be a Michael Myers outfit. And I imagine Michael Myers would have had black shoes as well. Now, were they already planning at that early stage this figure? If they could have put out Michael Myers, would they have, instead of putting out that earlier Hannibal, would they have put this one out as they did in 2021? Or did this come out 2020 or 2021? It's dated 2020, but I think these shipped in 21. Because I don't think people were getting the straightjacket one before Christmas. Maybe a few people, I don't know, but I think it was after Christmas that this started coming out. Like January, February. But anyway, I mean, I didn't get it until a few weeks ago, so. And I pre-ordered it. So anyway, I just wonder if if this was what they were planning all along, was the straightjacket Hannibal. And the only reason they put out this one was just because they wanted to replace Michael Myers in the line. If that's the case, why not just drop Michael Myers and just have one less figure? Unless there was like a certain number that stores had ordered, like a certain number of figures in an assortment and they had to fill that. I don't know. Just guessing. And the whole Michael Myers thing could be wrong, but I've never heard it contradicted. So I would think by now it would have been poo-pooed if that wasn't what happened. Let's, just for comparison, this is a NECA Michael Myers. So that's how NECA presents Michael Myers. And this is from last year. This is 2020. So you can see what kind of suit he's got on. And compared to that. Now, I don't know if the Mego Michael Myers... I think the Mego Michael Myers was going to be the Rob Zombie one. Yeah, because I kind of remember seeing some card art that had the Rob Zombie. Like maybe it was at Toy Fair or something. They had the Rob Zombie poster art on it. So I think it was going to be the Rob Zombie one. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the difference is between the clothing that the Rob Zombie Michael Myers wears compared to the John Carpenter Michael Myers. If maybe this little lighter blue suit would make sense with the Rob Zombie one, I don't know. I don't know. But, I mean, when you look at them together, at an actual Michael Myers in this Hannibal, I mean, I can definitely see how the Hannibal would have been a Michael Myers. I mean, you can certainly see that. So I'm inclined to believe that that was indeed the plan. Well, I'm glad they put out the better one. I'm glad they gave us the new improved Hannibal Lecter in what I think is the more appropriate costume. I do wish his head sculpt were better, though. They could have improved on that, or maybe the paint or something. You know, I really like Hannibal Lecter. It's in modern horror, that's one of my favorite characters. And I'm sure for most everyone who likes horror movies that he's one of their favorite characters. And so I would be really excited about a Hannibal Lecter that really nailed it and really looked like Anthony Hopkins. If they really got Hopkins' head just right, I'd be really excited about that figure. So my enthusiasm is a little bit muted on this. I like the character. I like that the toys exist. I like that there's such a thing as a Hannibal Lecter Mego figure. But I do wish they had taken another pass at that head and made it look a little better. And so I wonder if we're going to ever see that that Michael Myers or not. I think they've said that it's still in the works, that it'll come out eventually. Will it have the same outfit as this? Or are they going to put this outfit out again, but with a Michael Myers head? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Now there are other Hannibal Lecter action figures NECA, the company that made this, NECA made a Hannibal Lecter figure, but it wasn't part of their Mego style line, and it wasn't part of their Ultimate line. It was a previous series. I think it was called Cult Classics or something like that. It had the word cult in it. And their toys at that time were not as well sculpted, well designed as they are today. And I'm not talking about the durability, I'm talking about the sculpt. So it's not quite their Hannibal Lecter. It was in a straitjacket, just like this. It was very similar to this. But it was all PVC, sculpted on clothes. And it just it doesn't look that great. I don't own it, but I've seen pictures of it. I'm not interested in owning it. It doesn't look that great. I'm sure I saw it in the store when it was new. And yeah, it didn't do anything for me. I think there was another Hannibal figure where he was like the scene where he's hitting the cop's head or the guard's head, he's hitting on him, and he's got the white shirt and like the blood. And I think it was modeled off of that scene. Am I hallucinating this? I could swear there was another much earlier toy that was modeled off of his look in that scene, and had a club and had blood on him. There's some expensive 1/6 scale 12-inch Hannibal Lecter action figures. I don't know. Well, there's a Medicom one that must be licensed. I mean, Medicom does licensed stuff. And it's kind of, you'd think it'd be really good as a Medicom, and it's okay. And there's a couple of really expensive, I think one's $300 and the other's $450. But I don't know if they're licensed. Those might be unlicensed. I don't know if those are official figures. I think those are like limited run, hobbyist kind of custom figures. I'm not sure that they're official, but they're very expensive, and they look pretty good. For that kind of money, you'd expect them to look pretty good. I've only seen photos of them. They look pretty good. I mean, they're not the last word in Anthony Hopkins' Hannibal Lecter likenesses, but they're not bad. You'd have to be pretty gung-ho to spend that kind of money on them. It's too bad we never got, like a sideshow 12-inch Hannibal Lecter. Or maybe NECA will take another stab at the character in this Mego style series. What do they call these things? Real Toys, REEL Toys. Is that the name of this series? Because the all PVC NECA figures that don't have the cloth costumes are called Ultimate Collection or Ultimate Figure, Ultimate something. But I don't like those. I like the Mego style costumed NECA figures. I don't buy the all PVC ones. But it'd be nice to see NECA take another stab at Hannibal and see how they do. It'd be nice to see the TV version Hannibal. That's something Mego could do. I think that would go over very well. A TV Hannibal. That show certainly has a big cult following. I mean, how many more Hopkins Hannibals can they do? Give us a TV Hannibal in a nice suit and tie. That'd be interesting. Just don't give us young Hannibal, whatever you do. Do not give us young Hannibal. Stay away from that. Okay, I think that's it. I've talked a lot more than I thought I would. I thought this would be like a 5-minute episode because I didn't really have a whole lot to say, but I found some things to say. I like that they made the character. I like that it exists. I just wish the sculpt were better. And I'm glad that this new version properly has Anthony Hopkins on the card. And now as I look at it more and more, I'm quite certain. It's obvious. The more I look at these two together, it's quite certain that this is like the rushed, almost prototype version of the toy that was rushed out. And this is the refined one, the finished product. This is what it was supposed to be all along. It's got the proper costume, proper card art, everything's correct. This has got Michael Myers' outfit, and who in the world knows who this guy is. That's not Hopkins. So I'm glad they made an improved version. Okay, that's it. Next episode will be a non-Mego episode. But we still have some more Megos to get through before we review all these things. More Megos. So in the next couple weeks, you'll see more Megos. But it won't be all Mego. We'll have non-Mego content on this show next episode. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to this channel. If you enjoy this outstanding production and you want more of this, subscribe to this channel and join our Facebook group, especially in the off season, because the show runs in seasons and we're getting to the end of the season pretty soon. That is a way to stay connected through the Facebook group. And I'm sure I'll be uploading some other off-season content on that Facebook group when I'm not doing regular episodes. And my 1995 documentary In Love with Toys is nominated for a Rondo. So go to the Rondo Awards website. I'll put a link down there and vote for Best Documentary for In Love with Toys. Or not. It's entirely up to you. Thank you for watching. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next time. Remember, the one who dies with the most toys is dead.